What if I told you that the sparkling diamond on your partner's finger might be nothing more than a slick marketing con? Imagine walking into a gleaming jewelry boutique, its lights dancing off rows of perfectly cut stones, each one billed as rare, eternal, and worth a small fortune. You lean in, enchanted by the promise of exclusivity. Yet behind the velvet rope, lab-grown diamonds are being peddled using the same playbook De Beers perfected nearly a century ago. In 2024 alone, sales of cultured gems soared past $8 billion. But few consumers pause to ask, who created this demand and at what cost? Let me paint you a picture. A high-tech laboratory where tiny carbon seeds germinate under extreme heat and pressure, mimicking nature's handiwork in a matter of weeks. It feels like science fiction, yet it's driving a fresh wave of profit for brands who whisper ethical and affordable, while charging prices that would make a real diamond blush. And here's the kicker. Many new middle-class buyers are swept up in the romance, convinced they're making a smarter, more responsible choice. But are they? Today, we're peeling back the velvet curtain to expose the well-oiled machinery of the diamond racket. From the strategic scarcity sculpted by PR gurus to the hidden fees buried in the fine print. We'll ask the hard questions. Who really benefits when a conflict-free label glitters brighter than the stones themselves? And most importantly, how can you avoid becoming the next surprise customer, clutching a box of lab-grown carbon and a fading sense of trust? Buckle up. What you think you know about diamonds is about to shatter. Diamonds have long been billed as the ultimate symbol of love and status, born deep within Earth over billions of years. Yet beginning in the 1950s, scientists discovered they could recreate those exact conditions in the lab, spawning the first synthetic stones, initially confined to industrial uses, abrasives, cutting tools, electronics. Lab-grown gems lurked behind the scenes. Then in the last decade, a convergence of consumer ethics and manufacturing breakthroughs thrust cultivated diamonds into the jewelry spotlight. Today, two main processes dominate. High-pressure, high-temperature, HPHT, which mimics subterranean forces with massive presses, and chemical vapor deposition, CVD, which bakes carbon gases into pure crystal layers. Both yield stones chemically, physically, and optically identical to mined diamonds, but at a fraction of the time, weeks instead of eons, in cost. Despite their technical sameness, lab diamonds still struggle against ingrained beliefs about natural rarity. The legacy players in the industry, from De Beers to luxury fashion houses, have gradually embraced these new gems, but only after recalibrating marketing narratives. They've spun ethical and eco-conscious messaging to appeal to younger buyers worried about mining's environmental toll and human rights violations. Terms like conflict-free became standard, even though most mined diamonds were already certified through initiatives like the Kimberley process. Ironically, this marketing pivot can obscure hidden costs, premium price tags, inflated margins, and glossy campaigns engineered to maintain the illusion of scarcity. Meanwhile, lab-grown diamond output has exploded. Factory capacities in China and India ramped up, enabling millions of carats annually. Retail giants now bundle these gems with warranties, financing, and diamond grading certificates indistinguishable from those issued for earth-mined stones. The average price per carat for a lab diamond has dropped by over 50% in 5 years, yet profit margins stay surprisingly high. That's because the real markups aren't just on the raw stone, but on branding, packaging, and after-sales services. Companies have reimagined the jewelry purchasing journey as a lifestyle upgrade. Subscription models, custom engraving, even digital blockchain provenance logs that track each gem's lab origin. Features designed to reinforce value in the minds of consumers who crave transparency. For middle-class buyers entering the market, the allure is powerful. A larger stone for the same budget, guilt-free provenance, and the chance to own a high-tech marvel. But beneath the surface lies a modern playbook. Craft desire through controlled release schedules. Leverage influencer partnerships to create viral diamond unboxings and anchor price justifications in pseudoscientific jargon. In effect, the same scarcity play and emotional storytelling that greased the wheels of the mined diamond market now propels lab-grown gems forward. Understanding this background is crucial. It reveals that the diamond business isn't just about geology or chemistry. It's a finely tuned consumer psychology machine, calibrated to maximize sales and minimize scrutiny. Over the last decade, lab-grown diamonds have transformed from niche industrial abrasives into a mainstream luxury commodity fueled by razor-thin production costs and outsized profit margins. Manufacturers harness state-of-the-art presses and plasma reactors to churn out flawless 1-carat stones for roughly $300 to $400 apiece, a fraction of the $1,500 retail tag. Yet retailers routinely slap on markups of 200% to 300%, thanks to bundled services like lifetime upgrades, free cleanings, and grading reports that cloak the true cost and perceived value. Behind the scenes, these vertically integrated supply chains, from silicon wafer suppliers to laser inscription experts, keep material expenses low and allow brands to flex on margins instead of price competition, preserving a veneer of exclusivity even as overall costs plummet. Digital storefronts and direct-to-consumer subscription models have revolutionized how people buy diamonds. Instead of the traditional jewelry counter, many consumers now swipe through curated collections on sleek websites, choosing stones by shape, size, and ethical grade. E-commerce platforms eliminate middlemen, but they replace them with virtual stylists and chatbots that leverage real-time inventory algorithms to push mid-range stones when shoppers hesitate. Meanwhile, buy now, pay later financing options entice middle-class buyers to commit to larger purchases, locking them into multi-year payment plans that generate interest revenue for retailers. The packaged experience, complete with unboxing videos, complimentary engraving, and blockchain-verified provenance, reinforces the premium feel, even though the underlying product remains an engineered crystal. Marketing playbooks have shifted from geology lectures to emotional storytelling. Brands stage influencer partnerships, sponsoring proposal reveal, content on Instagram and TikTok, where micro-influencers gush over their conflict-free sparkle. Controlled release campaigns drip limited edition collections in time drops, creating digital traffic jams and frenzy that mimic the scarcity of rare natural stones. Press releases tout celebrity endorsements and environmental certifications, framing lab diamonds as the moral high ground, while glossing over the significant energy footprint of high-pressure reactors and vacuum chambers. In effect, the industry has repurposed De Beers' century-old tactics, scarcity marketing, aspirational narratives, and celebrity cachet to propel a product that, in chemical terms, is 100% factory-made. Data tell the rest of the story. Global production of lab-grown diamonds surpassed 4 million carats in 2023, up from just 500,000 in 2018. Retail revenue for cultured gems jumped from $1.5 billion to over $8 billion in the same period, even as average per-carat prices dropped more than 50%. Analysts predict the category will eclipse mined diamond sales by 2030, capturing as much as 30% of total market value. Yet despite this growth, the lion's share of profit resides not in manufacturing, but in branding and distribution. Luxury labels charge premiums of $1,000 per carat for signature collections, transforming commoditized stones into luxury goods through storytelling and design. At the psychological level, consumers fall prey to cognitive biases that make lab diamonds irresistible. Anchoring tricks convince buyers that list prices are discounted. A $5,000 retail tag reduced to $3,000 feels like a bargain, even when the actual wholesale cost was closer to $500. FOMO drives demand spikes around influencer posts, and social proof cements desirability as friends and peers share their own purchases online. The promise of transparency via blockchain provenance or third-party certification sows trust, though these certificates often mirror those from mined diamonds and rarely reveal the true origins of branding markups. Environmental and ethical claims add another persuasive layer. Brands trumpet 90% lower carbon emissions and zero mining waste, but a full life cycle assessment shows that the electricity-hungry reactors can still rival the environmental footprint of small-scale mining operations. Add in reliance on fossil fuel-powered grids in major production hubs, and the green narrative frays under scrutiny. Yet few consumers perform this level of due diligence. The combination of clean lab imagery, recycled packaging, and eco buzzwords is enough to override nagging doubts. Traditional mining giants and luxury houses are scrambling to adapt. Some have launched their own lab-grown lines. Others emphasize the romance of earth-mined stones by investing in traceable small-scale mines in local communities. Competition has pushed margins tighter in the mid-range segment, but the premium tier remains insulated, proving once again that in the diamond business, perception matters more than provenance. As lab-grown gems continue their march, the core battleground will shift from carbon crystals to brand narratives. By unpacking these mechanics, the manufacturing economics, the digitally engineered shopping experience, the psychology of scarcity, and the eco-messaging, you'll see that lab diamonds are not just a carbon marvel, but a masterclass in modern consumer marketing. In our next section, we'll dive into a specific case study that reveals how one major retailer turned a modest lab-grown launch into a $500 million blockbuster, all while keeping you dazzled by the sparkle. In 2022, the luxury jeweler Aurora & Company quietly rolled out its Eternity lab-grown diamond collection, a seemingly modest line of 0.75 to 1.5 carat solitaires priced between $1,800 and $2,500. At first glance, the stones appeared unremarkable, flawless, colorless, and indistinguishable from mined gems in every certificate. Yet behind the scenes, Aurora & Company's marketing machinery was humming at full throttle. They commissioned a viral proposal reveal campaign featuring real couples whose engagement stories played out across TikTok and Instagram Reels. Each video began with an intimate close-up of a hand slipping a luminous eternity ring onto a finger, followed by tears, laughter, and an overlay of sweeping piano music. Within 48 hours, the hashtag Eternity Ring had amassed over 2 million views. Simultaneously, Aurora & Co. had orchestrated a limited edition drop. Only 2,000 rings were made available worldwide, each individually numbered and accompanied by a personalized video booklet documenting that stone's journey from carbon seed to finished jewel. The company teased the release 1 week in advance, drip-feeding customers curated behind the lab footage and designer interviews. When launch day arrived, the website crashed under the surge of eager shoppers, many of whom had been nurtured by waitlist emails and targeted social ads that showcased peer testimonials and ethical sparkle taglines. By midnight, every ring was sold out. Financially, this campaign was a triumph. Aurora & Company paid roughly $500 per ring in manufacturing and certification costs, yet sold them for an average of $2,200, yielding gross margins north of 320%. More importantly, the Eternity line generated brand halo effects. Search traffic to their mined diamond collections spiked by 45%, and social media engagement increased by 80% month over month. What began as a low-cost experiment in lab-grown gems evolved into a marquee launch that reinforced the jeweler's premium positioning. On the consumer side, the Eternity campaign effectively reframed lab-grown diamonds as not just acceptable substitutes, but superior choices. Reviews flooded in praising the clarity, size, and price differential. Many buyers noting they could afford a larger carat count ring than a mined equivalent. Fashion blogs and lifestyle influencers lauded Aurora & Company for leading an eco-lux movement, despite only minimal references to the actual environmental data. Few consumers questioned the company's carbon offset claims or the source of the hydroelectric power used in production. The narrative of sustainability was woven so deeply into the storytelling that critical scrutiny was eclipsed by emotional resonance. Contrast this with True Earth Jewels, a smaller artisan brand that launched its own lab-grown line in the same year. Without the budget for high-profile influencer deals or limited-release theatrics, True Earth priced its 1-carat stones at $1,200 and relied on straightforward transparency, publishing raw energy usage and mining comparison reports on its website. Despite positive press in niche sustainability circles, their sales plateaued at under 300 units in the first quarter. Without the emotional hook, scarcity aura, or celebrity validation, the product remained a technical novelty rather than a consumer obsession. What this juxtaposition reveals is that the lab-grown diamond business hinges less on product innovation and more on narrative craftsmanship. Aurora & Co. didn't merely sell crystals, they sold aspiration, community, and the feeling of joining a select club. They tapped into FOMO with countdown timers, harnessed social proof through real couple stories, and cloaked the entire affair in polished cinematography. Elements that wield far greater influence over buying decisions than environmental reports or pricing breakdowns. As a viewer, these case studies underscore a critical lesson. When a brand can choreograph desire and scarcity, even a man-made carbon crystal can rival the mystique of a billion-year-old gemstone. Lab-grown diamonds may be born in reactors, but their true sparkle comes from the stories we tell and the emotions we buy into. Now let's arm you with practical takeaways before you make your next diamond decision. Do your homework on price breakdowns. Ask for a clear cost breakdown. True lab-grown diamonds wholesale below $500 per carat. If a deal still costs thousands, you're funding marketing and extra services. Compare at least 3 quotes, online and in-store, to spot outliers and negotiate confidently. Scrutinize certification and provenance. Don't be swayed by blockchain-backed buzz. Insist on a grading report from GIA, IGI, or HRD, and look for details on growth method HPHT versus CVD and energy source. If the seller can't quantify carbon footprint or supply chain audits, treat their green claims skeptically. Beware of scarcity marketing. Limited drops and numbered editions can create false urgency. Implement a 48-hour cooling-off rule. Research, read real reviews, and compare before committing. Remember, labs can scale capacity. True rarity belongs to natural diamonds. Leverage financing wisely. Financing can make larger stones seem affordable, but adds interest and fees. Calculate your total repayment cost. If hitting a carat goal strains your budget, weigh emotional satisfaction against financial impact. Consider long-term value and resale. Lab-grown diamonds depreciate faster than mined stones. If you see the purchase as an investment or heirloom, ask about buyback or upgrade policies. And read the fine print. Many offer store credit rather than cash. Adopt a balanced mindset. A diamond's true value comes from the story you attach, not just its chemistry. Choose gems that resonate with your values, be it transparent tech or geological heritage, and let that narrative shine brighter than any marketing pitch. With these insights, you're ready to peek behind the sparkle and make choices that satisfy both heart and wallet. All right, let's bring this all together before you go shopping for that next sparkle. By now, you know that lab-grown diamonds aren't just shiny carbon crystals. They're the centerpiece of a meticulously crafted marketing machine. From factory floor reactors to influencer-fueled hype, every step is designed to maximize perceived value and urgency. You've seen how limited drops, emotional storytelling, and glossed-over sustainability claims can drive margins through the roof, even when production costs sit in the low hundreds. You've also learned to arm yourself with price benchmarks, certification literacy, and a healthy dose of skepticism towards scarcity tactics. Here's the bottom line. Whether you choose a lab-grown gem or a mined stone, your best defense against buyer's remorse is information. Demand transparent cost breakdowns, verify growth methods and energy sources, and give yourself ample time to compare offers. Remember, if a deal sounds too good or too perfectly ethical, it probably comes with extra fees wrapped in fancy packaging. If you found these insights helpful, hit that button to let me know, and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden mechanics of everyday luxuries. Drop a comment below sharing your own diamond shopping experiences or questions. I read every single one and I'll personally respond. And if there's another consumer trend you want me to unpack next, tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching, and here's to making smarter, more informed choices. Sparkle on your terms.